Slave DiBiase.
Okay. Before we do anything, y'all, let's get it started. Oh, gotta get in rare form. All right, man. Uh, we good? We good here? We good here? We good here? Yeah, I think we good here. We good here. All right, here we go. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on when you digest this content. This is another live episode of the Offenders Initiative podcast with your host, your illustrious host, me, Slave DiBiase, aka Tony Spark, aka Slave Daniel Richards. And y'all see what it is, man. It's 420, another 420. This is day 26 of Vlogtober, y'all. It has been whooping my ass. Vlogtober is something that will break a grown man down. I'm telling you, coming up with something like, even like a person like me wanting to consistently, you know what I'm saying, sit down and share my 420 with y'all, or y'all even want to consistently come back and share y'all 420 with me every damn day. It's just a blessing, man. I say all that to say thank y'all for pulling up, because you could be anywhere in the world at 420, but you're here with me. You feel me? Got a paper here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna roll something up. But y'all see the caption, right? Y'all see the caption? Cash Money versus No Limit recap and reaction. Who really won? Plus Dr. Doom's origin and Avengers Doomsday. So we got some new details with Avengers Doomsday. It's supposed to be the origins of this Dr. Doom that will be played by Robert Downey Jr. We got some new details on that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm always here to drop that for y'all, man. You can never lose that. Never lose that, because that's all we got. You feel me? So, yeah, but first of all, let's check out Cash Money versus Cash Money versus No Limit. It's just bruh, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like, well, I'm gonna ask a question, you know, because I could be wrong. Was it hamburger buns? Was it ass? Was it I kind of felt like it was ass, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I felt like it was ass. 1, no Lil Wayne. 2, no Turk. 3, no Mystical because he locked up. 4, no C Murder, you know. 5, Baby's energy was clearly off. Every time it came time to sing one of Lil Wayne's parts on the song, they were singing the parts. They didn't even really want to do it. I could see he was visibly upset that, you know what I'm saying, he had to go on and do this in a manner that I don't think he really wanted to do. Because if anybody else, y'all would want y'all people up there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody would want the entire. When we're thinking about Cash Money versus No Limit, this is something that we've been talking about since I was a kid, man. You know what I'm saying? They both from New Orleans. They both kind of had similar styles, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Cash Money was more about flossing. No Limit was that grimy street work. You know what I'm saying? It was the down south version of Rough Riders versus Rockefeller, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Where Cash Money would be Rockefeller, they flashy, get money, you know what I'm saying? Street dudes. No Limit was grimy to the bone, but they had money. That was one thing Master P made sure all his folks had some bread. All his people had money. Those colorful, weird looking albums that Master P used to put out with those crazy graphics on them and all that, man, that shit was crazy. I'm telling you. But I'm giving it to Cash Money side. I'm giving it to No Limit. No Limit destroyed them. No Limit destroyed them. It was really Juvenile versus No Limit by itself, because Wayne had showed up. And I think Wayne might have been loyal to the bone on some, if Turk ain't finna be there, bitch, I ain't finna be there, which it should be like that, because we didn't, let's be honest, man, we didn't want to see that. We didn't want to see that. We did not want to see that. We wanted to see the entire crew. Hold up for a second, though. We wanted to see the entire crew. Tell me we didn't. The whole time y'all been doing this No Limit versus Cash Money thing in y'all head, even if it's just a versus. You wanted the whole crew. So No Limit washes the floor with Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? Juvenile carried everything on his back. But shout out to Mia X, Mama Mia. Folks don't forget how fire Mia X was, man. Them albums that she put out, man. That lady wasn't selling sex back in the day. This was strictly bars. She was up there rapping. She's in her 50s. She's looking good. Putting young whores to shame. And I want to say she just beat cancer too. Shout out to Mia X. Shout out to Big Mama, man. Shout out to Mama Mia, man. Silk there, P there, Mama there, we there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of them. You know what I'm saying? Really, Mia X, in my opinion, she carried for No Limit. It might have got darker had Mystical been there. Then again, you could say it could have got dark if they'd have did YMCMB versus No Limit. They obviously weren't in turn, you know. I can visibly see that Birdman really, bro, he don't like Master P. He don't like Master P because he just wanted to let everybody know that he was the first one with diamonds in his teeth, tattoos on his face, and all of that. Now, where I'm from and where I grew up at in Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? Master P came out first. Everybody wanted to be Master P when they came out. I'm just saying, but y'all take a look at the way that Birdman addressed Young Turk's absence. Just crazy, man. Just crazy, man. And we gonna touch right back in. Hold on, let's go. This is by way of all Urban Central. Let's take a little listen. Hold up, and light up too, man. If y'all ain't did that already.
I met BG, I met Wayne, I met Juvie, I met Turk. Shout out to Turk, you little bitch. You ain't here, but we gon' put you and we won't you. You heard me? Don't go off script. We gon' put that bitch when we want. But that's another movie. But ain't no, you know, Cash Money. When one died, I ain't gonna say died, but we lost a lot of souls.
Nah. Look at me at X behind Birdman when he said, "Fuck you, Turk, bitch. Fuck you to Turk. We gonna fuck with you when we want to fuck with you." You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Turk, but we gonna fuck with you when we want to fuck with you. Me personally, if I'm Young Turk, that might be my last little dealings with Cash Money because ain't no nigga gonna ever tell me and they like we gonna fuck with you when we won't fuck with you. You never gonna fuck with me when you want to fuck with me, nigga. And that's on me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he wasn't there. If this is the way they actually feel about him, to the point where you took time in a historical moment that, and this is another reason why that shit was hamburger buns. Well, it was hamburger buns all the way around, but it might be honey buns because Mia X did her thing. Shout out to Mia X again. But here's another reason why that whole event was hamburger buns. Shit was trash. It should have been in New Orleans, nigga. Tell me it shouldn't have been in New Orleans. You take time to do a legendary speech at the end of something that we've been wanting to see our whole lives, and you take the time to diss one of your homeboys that's a part of a historical group. That's some clown behavior, bro.
But Cash Money ain't built on you leave, you can't, we gonna still multiply. Let's go. Cash Money ain't gonna never die. As long as I'm alive, hold on, fresh, wait, fresh. Long as I'm alive, Cash Money ain't gonna never die.
Hey. Nigga, Lil Wayne Cash Money. Let's just stop it right there. Nigga, Lil Wayne Cash Money. You Birdman, but Lil Wayne is Cash Money, nigga.
But I'm gonna keep it all the way real though. I think No Limit tore their ass up without turning Wayne up. You heard me? I got hold on. Hey, y'all remember the movie Bottle Blocking, right?
Lil Turk got this one saying that he always say, which is telling the truth ain't hating. I am a firm believer in telling the truth ain't hating, and I solely agree. Y'all got your ass toe out the frame by No Limit because Turk and Wayne was not there. Wayne not being there really hurt Cash Money. That's how I know something went down It might have been. I'm gonna go to a loyalty factor. Wayne was like, "Yo, if everybody ain't finna be there, I'm not even gonna waste my time because you're gonna have all these different questions and folks asking me, do I still get along with this person? How about I just don't show up at all? Turk ain't gonna be there, bitch. I ain't gonna show up."
When I killed the mailman and that bitch, y'all know I wrote that chorus on there too. For some strange reason, I'm just on all the hit songs, but I ain't important. Do y'all agree with that I ain't important? Y'all felt like I should have been at the Versus. And I'm here with y'all, you dig? We gonna do it like a pillow. I like them hot, the ones that don't tell me to stop. Eat dick, swallow the cum, and they know how to pop. I need a
Project,
hood
rat.
One that don't give a she don't get with it.
All right, that's fire, but there's something else I want y'all to see. Hold on, I did a little bit of research on this. This is a pretty nasty situation, man. How y'all feeling? Y'all feeling like No Limit tore their ass up because Wayne and Turk wasn't there? I feel like that's exactly what happened. Wayne and Turk would have been there. It might have been a little bit of a different outcome. I firmly believe that. Let me see something, man. Is it this? It might be this. Okay. We're gonna look at some more goddamn research on this because y'all don't understand why I'm calling this shit buns. This shit ass as hell. That Versus was ass, bro. I might have should have changed the title of this shit to Cash Money versus No Limit was ass. I'm giving y'all the reasons why. Hold on. That shit was honey buns, nigga. All right, we're gonna look at something by the way of Trap Tune TV. Give them a like, comment, and subscribe over there. I'm gonna subscribe to everything because if I can react, I can react, right? Give them a like. Let's see what they got to say. I think it's this that I was looking at.
So make sure you hit that like.
Now we all know tonight was the night. Cash Money versus No Limit.
Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. Because the motherfucker who I was looking at, he ain't had no funny ass voice. It's some other shit I was looking at. I think, yeah, it's this I want to say. Yeah. All right. All right. This content is coming by way of a content creator by the name of Shuka Boy. Shuka Boy, don't forget to give him a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's take a look. He kind of does his little research or whatever, and I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So let's give him a like. What do you got to say?
There were other uncomfortable stories that came out of last night's Saturday, October 25th. Cash Money and No Limit VERZUZ at Complex Con besides Lil Wayne's absence.
Versus, not Verzus.
Birdman once stood on stage to talk about how he met the Hot Boys, formed the Cash Money Collective, and came up in the business. After yelling out BG, Wheezy, and Juvenile, he eventually made fun of Hot Boy Turk.
Like when I met Blood, you know, I just was trying to do something different.
For the record, anybody who didn't see it, I'm telling y'all right now, if you're not from the city or you're not from the state, you might say Cash Money won, only because you don't know and you only know the hits that you know. If you from where we from, though, you saw No Limit won that, hands down. They washed them.
In the gang, I had started this shit young. I was a young man trying to get some money and not be in the streets. And I met BG, I met Wayne, I met Juvie, I met Turk. Shout out to Turk, you little bitch. You ain't here, but fuck you. We gon' fuck with you and we won't fuck with you. You heard me? Don't go off script, nigga. We gon' fuck with that bitch when we won't fuck with her. But that's another.
See, baby will probably drunk. That bitch will probably drunk. Because my thing is why is you spilling out your real feelings all on this stage in this historical moment? You use that to shit on Turk. If I was Turk, I'd never holler out nothing Cash Money related again. How dare you take that time to embarrass me, nigga? You know, is it COE over everything? or you a grown punk who don't know, you know what I'm saying, there's a time and place for everything. That wasn't the time nor the place. That was some weird shit, Birdman. Now.
Movie, but ain't no, Cash Money. When one nigga died, I ain't gonna say died, cause we lost a lot of soldiers, but Cash Money ain't built on you leave, you can't, we gonna still multiply. Let's go. Cash Money ain't gonna never die. As long as I'm alive, hold on, Fresh, wait, Fresh. Long as I'm alive, Cash Money ain't gonna never die. Shout out to my nigga NBA Youngboy, NBA Rich Gang.
So I'm guessing NBA Youngboy down with him. Let's see what's going on with all of that.
Fuck who don't like it. We with all the bullshit. If you ain't with us, fuck you, nigga.
Oh.
P, where you at, bruh?
For those who don't know, Turk filed a lawsuit about Cash Money issues pertaining to their reunion tour for the 30th anniversary. This appears to be more of an issue with booking agents, talent agencies, and promoters than it is with any Cash Money members directly.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, in the middle of the verses, that boy Birdman yelled out the P. He said, "Say P." He said, "I just want to let y'all know." He's like, you do y'all thing, y'all do y'all thing. Woo, woo, woo. He's like, but I was the first nigga out here doing it, stunting with these cars. I had diamonds in my teeth first. You know what I'm saying? I had tattoos on my face first, doing all this. I was the first nigga really doing this balling shit. That's what Baby said in the middle of the stage. You know what I'm saying? And P was like, "Yeah, nigga. All right. Next song." It's like, nigga, shut the fuck up. What you mean you was the first nigga doing all this ball? You want to know why you doing all that balling? You the first nigga that had diamonds on your teeth and all that? Because you steal from your artist, sir. That's why. You getting all this money because you're not paying your fucking people. I guess I had diamonds in my teeth and tattoos on my face and 50 whips and all that kind of shit too if I wasn't paying my fucking people. You got that $1 million?
Juvenile had previously shown sympathy for Turk after all. Even if this Verzus call-out doesn't specifically mention any of this, it's difficult to ignore it as background information. Instead, it appears that long-standing conflicts inside the Cash Money community and within the Hot Boys have just surfaced. Someone jokingly told Baby to stick to the script.
Yeah, you embarrassing us, nigga. We gonna fuck with that bitch when we want to fuck with him. How you gonna tell a nigga you gonna fuck with him when you won't fuck with him?
What's more is that Turk seemed to respond to Birdman via an Instagram live that same night.
Telling the truth, not hating. You feel me? Look, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep it all the way real though. I think No Limit tore their ass up with Wayne got. You heard me? This shit right, man. You know what I'm saying? In a Superdome or something.
Tamar Braxton was actually there to support Birdman at the Cash Money Verzus.
So he already responded to him. That's a little bit nasty, man. Y'all tell me what y'all thinking about that one. That historical moment, you used it to diss your brother, to diss your little bro, to diss your young boy. You used it to diss him and to big up some little nigga that you just met 2 months ago. Weird behavior, man. Weird behavior. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. And see, that's why they lost. The same reason why Dipset lost versus the Locks is the same reason why Cash Money lost versus No Limit. No togetherness. Y'all ain't got no teamwork. Y'all ain't got no fellowship, no brotherhood. And it shows. Every time one of Lil Wayne's parts came up and it was time to sing Lil Wayne part, shit, Baby be standing over there looking like this. Man, that dude was so pissed off because Wayne wasn't there. Hey, Wayne got obligations of his own, my boy. And not to be doing with any foolish shit with you and going up there, going on stage and doing some dumb shit. Like I said, if it was a Turk not coming, okay, if Turk not coming, then bitch, I'm not coming. And I'm glad that's why I didn't go down the right way. It wasn't even in New Orleans, nigga. That wasn't a real Versus. That wasn't a real Versus, y'all. But yo, have you heard the latest on the origins of Dr. Doom in the MCU? Now, y'all know Dr. Doom is supposed to be getting played by none other than Robert Downey Jr. But now we're finally starting to get those seeds and those little cliff notes on how to figure out why he has Tony Stark's face. So we're gonna get a little bit more education here, and this is by way of Everything Always. Hold on just a second, y'all. Yeah, by way of Everything Always. Let's check them out. Let's see what they say. Avengers Doomsday, new plot lead. Doom and Iron Man was Kang's plan all along.
Anonymous posted to Reddit or 4chan, or rather revealed on Twitter via the Twitter scoopster majestic_UCM. You can follow them by that same handle. This was a rather lengthy expose, and while we remind you guys to take everything with a grain of salt, we of course give a lot more reverence to anyone, anonymous or not, that's willing to actually put their name on it. So take that as you will, but if this is in any way going to ruin the Avengers Doomsday experience for you, I ain't mad at you. Now would be the time to back out. Otherwise, let's dive right in. The leak reads like this. He Who Remains created Earth-616, creating a quote-unquote sacred and controlled timeline to hide the true history of the multiverse. Victor Von Doom was considered too dangerous, and that's why He Who Remains rewrote him inside of the 616.
Okay. The problem I'm having with this is, so was the sacred timeline never to have a Dr. Doom and a Tony Stark? It could only have a Tony Stark because you rewrote him to be a hero. So where's the 616 Tony Stark? Were they never supposed to have an Iron Man? I'm a little confused.
The rewriting turned Doom into Tony Stark. Same altered mind, new identity, and life as a hero. Tony Stark always felt like he didn't fit in with his family because his real life had been stolen. Those sensations of quote-unquote not belonging are echoes of Doom's original identity wanting to awaken. The time travels that Tony used in Endgame were deliberately allowed by He Who Remains. He Who Remains allowed those travels because he needed a variant of Loki to survive outside of his control. The survival of...
This is going to be really poor writing to me. I'm not here to shit on it, but like, Tony Stark was always doomed. That's what y'all want? No, man.
Loki's variant was part of the He Who Remains plan to prepare for future events. The ultimate purpose of He Who Remains was not a permanent peace, but to prepare for a multiversal war against the other Kang variants that betrayed him. When Stark dies, a key piece of He Who Remains control disappears. With the death of He Who Remains, the barriers containing realities break, and all the versions of Doom come back into existence. Among those versions, the Doom who fought and lost in the multiversal war recovers his memory. Upon recovering his memory, that Doom feels humiliation for having been turned into the puppet of He Who Remains. The humiliation becomes his driving force. Doom doesn't just want revenge, he wants to rebuild the multiverse in his own way. In the post-credit scene of the Fantastic Four, Dr. Doom finds Franklin Richards.
He wants to rebuild the multiverse or the universe in his own way. Yeah, we're definitely headed to Secret Wars. And if the plot leaks are true and we're headed to a 1660 kind of 1660 kind of vibes where it's like medieval and all of that, that's about to be super weird.
Doom doesn't steal his power, he manipulates him. He shows him the hidden truth about the origin of the multiverse. Doom's goal is to convince Franklin that together they can rewrite the real history. Doom needs the help of other powerful beings besides Franklin to remake the multiverse. Part of Doom's plan is to corrupt or use versions of heroes as tools to rewrite realities. Avengers Doomsday will kick off with Doom trying to recruit and manipulate Franklin and other entities to create a new origin for the multiverse where he is the architect. Okay,
so that's young Franklin Richards. You're taking him on a ride throughout the multiverse, corrupting his mind. He could need Wanda, her son, Wiccan, the 10 Rings from Shang-Chi, and the Negabands from Miss Marvel. couple of those artifacts and those people aren't going to come quietly. I know that much.
You guys know me very generally when I read through a plot leak, and for the very first time, I have an inkling as to whether or not it's just an amalgamation of all of the leaks that have come before it. This doesn't feel like that. This actually feels like something new, and as I briefly mentioned during the prologue, it definitely attempts to touch on some of the major themes in the multiverse saga, not just ignore Kang, but rather use what He Who Remains and Kang had already established as canon, and through a large part of this saga for the last 5 years, to explain where in the world Doctor Doom has been. And I like the idea that amongst the other multiversal Kang variants, Kang He Who Remains knew that another problem would be Doctor Doom, and turning Doctor Doom into a hero instead of a villain, and doing it in a place called the Sacred Timeline.
So you're telling me He Who Remains never told Loki about, hey, oh, I could see that because he's a villain in his own right. He Who Remains. I could see maybe he never told Loki about, oh yeah, by the way, if you meddle a little too much, there's one particular guy you're going to end up having to deal with if he ends up popping back up. Here's how you deal with him. Yeah. Or maybe this was He Who Remains plan all along. I gotta say, Marvel has a chance to really strike gold here if they just rehire Majors. They could run the rest of Kang's story concurrent with Doom and his rise to power and have them end at the end of Doomsday. They could put Kang Dynasty and what they wrote for Doomsday together and make that all one movie. It smashes the box office, leading us right into Secret Wars. Even if he dies at the end, Kang I'm talking about, He Who Remains, something like that, you got to bring him back. It just won't feel right, man.
Where presumably a lot of the things that were important were all contained within this. The Loki variant he needed to escape, his variant in Victor Timely, specific relics that may have also been placed there on purpose like the Bangles or the 10 Rings, and other characters and variants perhaps like Steve Rogers that'll become part of the entities he's talking about that he needs their help in his conquest to rebuild the multiverse. It also aptly explains his motivation that he was played at the hands of He Who Remains, that he's basically been a cog in the wheel, had his whole origin erased just so He Who Remains could quote unquote remain safe from the danger that is Doctor Doom. So certainly the Doom that we know from the comics and the ego that's always tied up in his character would definitely have a vendetta and be on a warpath to not only get his origin back, but to one-up Kang and say, hey, look, you're not the most powerful being in the multiverse. Forget He Who Remains. I'm going to become God Emperor Doom. And if right now Loki, God of Stories, happens to stand in his way, well, then so be it. Speaking of which, because there were some details left out of this part, but the way that he's explaining it is that Loki being able to escape and during the time travel events of Avengers Endgame is part of He Who Remains' plan, not to again be a permanent solution, but to allow Loki, God of Stories, to then prepare a multiverse Avengers, say, for the multiversal war that's coming to defeat all those variants we saw in the post-credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. But what happened as a subsequent consequence of that time travel was Tony Stark's death, maybe a variable he wasn't accounting for. That let Dr.
You cannot move within this story without completing these three characters right here and the one locked in the quantum realm or locked in the multiversal engine core and He Who Remains, because He Who Remains is somewhere around here in time. You're gonna have to bring back Majors, man. Put it in the chat. Hashtag bring back Majors. I'm telling you, they could run Kang's storyline along with Dr. Doom's storyline. I'm willing to bet that Jonathan Majors would probably take a pay cut in order to get back and do this right. He doesn't deserve a pay cut, but I'm willing to bet he would, because he would see a whole lot more on the back end. Marvel brings me back. I do a crazy performance as all these different versions of Kang, and then you have Kang kill a couple of heroes. You have Doom recruit and kill a couple of heroes. Man, that shit would be box office legend. It might outdo Infinity War. Infinity War was the two of the better movies out of Endgame and Infinity War. So I don't know. Marvel, I don't know if y'all listening, but you might want to bring your boy back. See, If y'all got 14 months of reshoots or whatever y'all got going on, 14, 13 months of reshoots, I'd say you have time to write and put him in it. Y'all have so much potential. You're just not going to do it because you're afraid. I know though.
Doom loose, which trumps his variants now that are being hunted and controlled by the TVA, which if you think about it, and according to this leak, if Kang was truly allowing this variant of Loki to become Loki God of Stories in order to face down his own Kang variants from across the multiverse, maybe he just by essence put all the power needed for God Emperor Doom to become so by just defeating Loki. So he may have been trying to architect this to make someone powerful enough to face down all the Kang variants, and at the same time not realizing he was setting up a pathway for Doctor Doom to become ultimately this powerful. What I will say about this leak is it goes a long way in explaining things in a fresh way that we haven't heard a million times at the channel. We had not heard that Kang might be responsible for why Doctor Doom looks like Tony Stark, or rather creating a Tony Stark in order to rewrite Doctor Doom from a villain into a hero. We sort of all assumed that this was at Victor Von Doom's hand, something that he attempted to do, that he wanted to do, not that he was forced into doing or forced into becoming, which could really explain not only their connection, but his vendetta, the reason he's trying to now become his own architect of a multiverse or rewrite history as he sees it, because he was caged in the first place. Now, as much as I like a lot of things about this plot leak, I'm going to be honest, I have one huge hang-up, and here's the deal. I've maintained at the channel the whole time, and I think it's been confirmed, and I'll explain why, that Marvel Studios is not going to bring up Kang the Conqueror in any way. I feel like it would be very hard to explain the story.
You think so? You think they're just not going to bring him up? Bro, he's too integral. He's too integral. Marvel and Disney need to go ahead and bite the bullet and just bring the man back. You brought back James Gunn. Just bring back Kang. And he's willing to come back. He already said it. He already said it. There is a multiverse, so there is that. I can always come back. It's sad to see.
Without having Jonathan Majors shoot some film for them in order to show what was going on, which we know he's certainly not doing. And although recently he said he would be willing to come back and it's the multiverse and you never know, the truth is that when Kevin Feige spoke about Jonathan Majors at that recent press conference, he couldn't even call him by name. He called him the Kang actor. I think that is evidence enough that they are not going to be referencing Kang in any way. That when we heard of him last at the end of Loki season 2, that's going to be it. Again, they won't have Jonathan Majors to film any of this backstory about what was going on with the sacred timeline and the Kang variants. And yes, there might be some B-roll floating around, but certainly not enough to do this the way they want. They are focusing on Doctor Doom. They could use him to explain that story. But again, without Jonathan Majors there, without Kang, this is a lot to explain in the past without showing it on screen, something I don't think they're willing to do, because I don't think that they're willing to bring up Jonathan Majors or Kang the Conqueror in any way at all. They want that to be left alone. They want to pivot into Doctor Doom. I've maintained that the whole time, and that's my only hang-up basically with this plot leak. It's just involving a lot of Kang, and I don't suspect we're going to see Kang at all during Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars. Still,
You
I love
don't
these spoilers. They
know.
are fresh ideas from...
No, Mr. Everything Always. You don't know. You have no idea. Jonathan Majors could very well come back, and that could be something that these fanboys out here don't mess around and get for us. That might be information that your good sources might not be able to plug you in with, because that might be a secret that they're trying to keep. They might want to just actually surprise us again for once. Ever since a lot of these theory channels have come out or whatever, and shout out to all of these theory channels and channels like Everything Always that give you your Marvel, DC, and all of that. I love these channels, but there was a time when we didn't know what was going to happen until the movie came out. Marvel might be trying to pivot back towards that type of energy so that they can get that shock and awe and bring people back in the theaters to put asses in seats. Now, could it just be me having wishful thinking, and they're probably never going to bring that man back or bring him up? It's actually a pretty good theory, man.
what was going on. And I do think that they do need to address what's happened in the multiverse saga. I just think they're not going to. You guys let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. I'm all ears as always, and if you don't agree with me, definitely let me know. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, still giving away PlayStation 5s. The next one is for Wonder Man. We're also doing giveaways throughout the holiday season. All you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment, because it's true.
All right, and again, that was everything always, y'all. This has been another good sesh. We'll go ahead and light up and get on up out of here. Yeah, so I don't know. That plot leak had a lot of Kang attached to it. That could be legs to stand on. We won't know until next year when it comes out. I'm definitely going to the movie theater to see Avengers Doomsday. And if they fuck around and surprise us and have Jonathan Majors in there as Kang the Conqueror and all his different variants, where it's them two, I'm telling you, this is the story. Dr. Doom versus Kang versus the Council of Kangs. And the heroes is caught in between, trying to get shit together before both sides of these factions take shit over. That would be your box office hit. That would be your box office hit right there. Is it going to actually happen? Marvel, Disney, stop being scared. All right, y'all. It's your boy Slade DiBiase, man. Y'all be easy. This was a good one. Another 420. Another Quaalude. She love me in the morning. I'll talk to y'all later, man.